Okay, we're talking percent of change. So what does that mean? You see it all the time on like shampoo bottles, like 50% more product. That means if it was 8 ounces before, 50% of eight is four, and 12 plus, I mean, 8 plus 4 is 12. So there's 50% more. So when you're getting ads and stuff like that, it's important to recognize what those things actually mean. Um, so let's check it out. Here is the percent of change formula. You take the difference between the price difference from the old and the new, divide it by the old value, and multiply by 100 to make it a percent. So if you have a positive, it's an increase, meaning it went up. If the result is negative, it's a decrease, meaning it went down. Let's check it out. All right. So if we're talking about, I don't know, the price of something, it was originally $50. Now it's $80. Let's see what percent increase is that. So, okay, new minus old. So we find the difference in the price, divide it by the old value, times 100 to turn it to a percent. That becomes 30 over 50 times 100. So 30 divided by 50 is 0.6. 0.6 times 100 is 60%. So if you are being charged $50 and all of a sudden it's 80, you can say, whoa, that's a 60% increase. What's going on here? Also, obviously, this is 60%. It's positive, meaning the price went up. Okay, it went from 98, so that was your original or your old price, to 87, which is like your new price. So let's calculate this percent of change. We have our new over our original times 100. So break that calculator out. 87 minus 98 is negative 11. Negative 11 divided by 98. Ew. Divided by 98. Negative 11 divided by 98 is this decimal you see right here. It's negative 0.1122. We multiply that by 100 to make it a percent. So it's negative 11.22% change. Now notice this is negative, which makes perfect sense because if you're going from 98 to 87, that's going down. So you have an 11.2% decrease. Okay, a meal for two at a restaurant costs $32.75. If the sales tax is 5%, what's the total price of the meal? There's a lot of ways to do this kind of problem, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. We could use that formula. It gets very ugly very quickly. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to say percent over 100 equals is over of. So we want to know, what is 5%? What is 5% of 32.75? And we're going to cross multiply to solve this proportion. So 5 times 32.75 is 163.75. 163.75. But then we divide both sides by 100. And we find out that the sales tax is about $1.64, because it says 163.75, but we're rounding up because 7 is bigger. So that's the tax. Did I answer the question? No. What's the total price of the meal now? So $32.75 plus 164, total price is 34.39. Dog toys on sale for 20% off the original price. So the original price is $380. So again, we could use percentage over 100 equals is over of. So what is 20%? What is 20% of 380? Well, you do 380 times 20. $76. Divide both sides by 100. So it's out to be 76 cents off, right? Because it's a discount, which would mean that it's 380 minus the discount of 76 cents, and your total is now $3.04. This is probably the easiest way. So you can stop watching now, but if you want to see how I use the percent increase change, percent of change formula, you can watch. It's a little more complicated, but hey, so stick around if you want to see. Okay, so remember that percent of change formula is new minus original over the original times 100 equals the percent of change. So like I said, this way is a little more complex because you really have to think every little thing through. So the new price is what we're looking for. And we know the original price is $380. So if this confuses you, you just stop watching. Again, the original price is $380 times 100 equals our percent of change, which is not just that it's 20, it's negative 20, right? Because we're talking about a discount. We're talking about things going down. So this is where it can get confusing, right? It's got to be negative 20. Then we can divide both sides by 100, which this starts to look a little crazy, but you can do that. Those cancel off. And you're left with n minus 3.8 over 3.8 equals negative 0.02. Multiply both sides by the denominator of 3.8. And you are left with n minus 3.8 equals negative 0.2 times negative positive 3.8 is negative 0.76, which if you remember from like a minute ago, this problem, that was the discount. That was the 76 cents. Add 3.8 to both sides. And you get the same answer. So if you want to be crazy and complex, you can use this formula, but I suggest percent over 100 equals is over of.